beautiful scoliosis family, and welcome back to the 30-day Feel Good Scoliosis Challenge. We're on day 26 and I'm going to be taking you through a little bit of yoga and a little bit of core today. So let's get to it. Again, you're just going to need your mat. That is it. So put me on pause if you need to grab it, and let's come straight to it. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, and we're going to start with a little bit of cat and cow, but remembering we're going to do the scoliosis version. So focusing on our upper back, the thoracic spine, you are going to push up more through the concave side. So for me, right thoracic, left lumbar, that is my left rib cage. I'm pushing up more through, and then as I push down, I'm going to squeeze the rib hump side, the convex side. So not getting the full range of movement. Focusing on your scoliosis curves. And if you don't know what side convex and concave is, just gently move and see if you feel like one side is stiffer than the other side. Because the stiff side, that's the concave side. That's the side you kind of want to be working to get a little bit more mobility in, especially when you round into the ribs. So like now, pushing through the concave and then down through the convex. And we've got a few more movements like this if you want to add in any little extra wiggles or movements. It's just really nice, letting the head, letting the body just do what it wants. Do what it wants. And if you have a fusion, you might benefit more just from a little rock forward and back, because a cat-cow can be difficult depending on how much of your spine is fused. So just doing what works for you. Feel your body. Feel your scoliosis or your fusion and just acknowledge how it feels. But get a little bit of movement in there. It's good for the spine. And then coming back to center, I'm going to give you the option here. You can either come into a puppy pose where we extend the hips back or reach the arms forward, or you could try coming into a downward facing dog. So with a downward facing dog, you can tuck the back toes under, and you're going to push your knees off the ground and your body and hips up towards the ceiling. I recommend bending your knees and focusing on getting length in your spine. The last thing we want is straight legs and a round back. Get a straight back and bend legs. And it's a really nice stretch for the spine. You can maybe pedal out the legs a little bit. Just doing anything that feels nice whilst you're here. It's a very active pose. It's going to be working the shoulders and the core. And we get a couple more deep breaths. Thinking, can you get a little bit more length into your spine? And then gently lowering the knees back down. Whew. Good, well done. Okay, then we're going to come on to our core exercise, which is the bird dog. So we got some options here. You can extend your right foot back and just hold it down to the mat, maybe staying here or maybe reaching your left arm forward with the thumb facing up towards the ceiling. If you want to make it a bit more challenging, you can reach the right leg off the ground. And we're going to hold it here, and the idea is to stay as strong through your core as possible. But also, if you're familiar with your scoliosis curves, trying to not let the concave ribs rotate down. You want to keep those ribs pulling up towards the ceiling and not letting your foot come too high, because that's going to push you more into your concave side. We want to keep the hips as level as possible. And then you can gently lower down. Give yourself a little shake out, a little rock from side to side. And then let's go again. So other side, you can step the left leg back, either being back on the left toes, reaching the right arm forward, thumb faces up towards the ceiling, or you can hover the left foot off the ground. And choosing your variation here, but trying to keep the core and the body as strong and still as possible. Remembering not to go too high with that left leg, just keeping it in line with your hip. You're also working your glute here as well, so squeeze your bum muscles and try and keep your body as long as you can. Deep breaths. And then gently coming back. Oh gosh, good work. Okay, one more thing, we're going to try a plank. So you can either come onto your knees if you get wrist problems, maybe coming down onto the elbows, choosing your variation either on the knees or lifting the knees off the ground. And we're going to hold for 3 deep breaths, pushing the ground away from you through your hands. If you're on your knees, try not to be on all fours. You want to make sure your hips are forward towards the mat slightly. The neck is nice and long, don't collapse the neck. One more big inhale, and then gently release. You can take your knees out wide, sink your hips back, and take a nice big stretch in your child's pose. I like having my knees wide, my toes together, and just getting your arms away from the body, some length into the spine, and some nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. And getting one more deep breath here. I'm going to gently bring myself up, but of course, feel free to stay for longer. Do your puppy pose or anything that feels good, maybe repeating this. It's always going to be beneficial. And thank you for joining me. I will see you tomorrow.